Hello everybody, it's Mimberly and welcome back to Touchstarved. Last time we left off, we had just met the hunter and we met back up with the doctor. We're now back at the wet wick, so let's get straight into it. So, in the hours since I left, the wick has grown suffocatingly crowded. Kira stands a head taller than most. Even so, I nearly lose sight of him amidst the sea of swarming bodies. Pardon me. As if on cue, the crowd parts. Curious glances over his shoulder at Min and me before gliding through. How can anyone breathe in here? Min follows at a clipped pace. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Leander for a second. Behind the bar, Leander holds a pair of shot glasses brimming with luminous green liquid. And now for the finishing touch. A flash of magic paints the glasses white with frost. You'll never guess what's in these. He sides the glasses across the counter and I get my third and fourth shots of the evening in rapid succession. No! You can't put my boy here! I say my boy. I'm torn between him and Veer right now, but you guys know me. I have a thing for demons, apparently. Ice leans against the bar, an elbow propped up on the counter. He catches the glasses and lifts one to the light before turning it upside down. The contents, magically congealed, stays firmly in place. You're supposed to make drinks, pretty boy. Don't tell me you're wasted already. No. No! You can't put my two favorites here! That's not fair! Veer, perched on the counter beside Ice, looks at the shot glass and shakes his head. Oh my god, what have we here? A bucket full of boogers? Leander's nose treasure? You've eaten worse. Veer's lips twitch and his ears flatten when offering the glass. He sniggers. Coward. Don't tell me you're actually... In one fluid motion, Ice throws his head back and downs the shot. Drinking that. A dark look crosses I's face. It's chewy. Chewy? Wait, let me try that again. Behind me, Mem grumbles. I told you this place was a nest of degenerates. If it isn't Curious and Mim. I'm not gonna lie, the doctor's growing on me. I don't know what it is. At the sound of Leander's voice, Mem's pale eyes grow wide. They look ready to bolt until Kira sets a hand on their shoulder. This will not take long, I promise. Mem's eyes dart from Curious's hand to his face and then soften. Fine, you first. While they step forward, I linger behind, struck by a sudden revelation. All the people I've met recently know each other. Good evening, Leander, Ice. Another drinking competition, I presume? Is it evening already? Just some friendly rivalry, Doctor. No need to be alarmed. Curious acknowledges Leander and Ice with a slight nod, ignoring V entirely. Not that Veer seems to mind. He tilts his head, lips curving into an impish smile when he spots Met and Min brooding behind Curious. I almost didn't see you there, Mim. Looking for your booster seat? Oh, the hood's come down! Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of like their hair. That's quite cute. Mem pushes her hood back and levels at Veer with a cool look. I thought pets weren't allowed in here. Veer's eyes narrow. He can be my pet. I mean... Oh, this artwork's adorable! I love it! At the first sign of an impending fight, Leander vaults over the counter. Let's try and keep the peace. It's not every day the esteemed doctor takes us up on a drink. His arm snakes around Curious's shoulders. You are finally taking me up on that drink, right, Curious? I am afraid not. We are merely escorting Mimby back to her lodgings. Curious gestures in my direction, and my stomach sinks. I reluctantly step into the light. Leander's face brightens as soon as he sees me. Mimby, it's been too long. Everyone, this is Mimby. She's new to Eridina. I'm not sure if I like how you're presenting me right now. It's like it feels like he's trying to show me off. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I feel 4 pairs of eyes fix on me, and suddenly the bar seems suffocatingly small. My voice nearly catches in my throat. Hi. Again. Hi everyone. Again. Again. You've met. Oh, look at my babies! Ah! Ice and Veer regard me with subtly amused expressions. We did, not that long ago either. To think we'd cross paths once again. It must be fate. I roll my eyes. Veer looks far too pleased with himself. Why does Veer kind of give me Astarion vibes with like the playful flirting? Oh, goddamn. Look at them! Look at them. This calls for drinks. I'm buying. All eyes turn to Leander, freeing me from the sudden burden of attention. I still can't believe they all know each other. Watching them talk among themselves is surreal. I have just noticed that you guys can see my cursor. I do apologize. I understand how frustrating that is. So let me just quickly hide that. There you go. Problem solved. But for the first time since I undertook the journey to Eridina, I feel a faint glimmer of hope. I think. No. I know I was meant to meet them. The low, pleasant rumble of Leander's laughter pulls me from my restless thoughts. I've got to admit, I'm surprised. You make friends fast, Mimby. If only that was true of real life. I wouldn't go that far. We're more like acquaintances. A wise man once said that acquaintances are merely friends you haven't shared a drink with yet. A wise man? You said that. Here. Last week. Mim's lips curl with distaste, but Leander continues unperturbed. Let's toast to Mimby's health. Care to join in, Doctor? Kyrus politely declines with a wave of his hand. How about you, men? No. Are you? No. A resounding pop pierces the din at the bar. We all turn to find the bartender pouring champagne from an old bottle, its label worn black. He hands the drink to Veer. When did they start serving champagne here? Veer pauses to lick the foam from his fingers with a coy smile. You don't mind, do you? In the blink, the concern on Leander's face vanishes. No, be my guest. While chuckling, Leander shoots the bartender a questioning look. Completely disinterested in his company, Eyes cants his head at me with a light smile. How about you, Sparrow? I did say I'd buy you a drink. No, my treat. Hey, Leander, this is me and Ice time. You can back off. Ice regards Leander over the rim of his glass. In the dim light, the glint in his eyes looks downright dangerous. What will it be, Mimby? Okay, right, let me just explain something real quick. This is why I'm torn. So, out of all the characters, my top 3 is Leander, Veer, and Ice. I like Veer because of the playful personality, you know, like the kind of the little flirts here and there. He gives me very Silas and Astarion vibes with regards to that personality, and that's the sort of thing that I like, so that's why. Ice is just goddamn gorgeous, and the muscles are doing something to me. And then Leander, he kind of comes across as like that sort of person where if you were to date him, he'd be really goddamn proud that you were dating him. Like, you know, he would be getting you involved in all of his activities, you know, kind of announcing to everyone, hey, this is my girlfriend, you know, that sort of thing. Plus the fact, you know, magic. So, normally I don't drink alcohol. I actually can't drink alcohol in real life because I have really bad, like, reactions to them. So, but for the sake of, you know, the me that wishes she could drink, we'll go, I'll take that drink. I'll take you up on that drink, as long as it's not one of those green shots. Don't knock them till you've tried them. They taste better than they look. Somehow I doubt that, but I hold my tongue. Mim and Kyrus drift towards each other at the end of the bar. Both seem eager to leave at a moment's notice, and neither has ordered anything. Ice and Veer linger. Several glasses stand empty between them, and the two show no signs of slowing down. Oh, follow Mim and Kyrus or stay with Ice and Veer? Well, I know what I'm doing, but I'm going to very quickly save where we are so we can return to the save point at a later date. Stay with Ice and Veer. The boys. Ice's eyes meet mine in a flash of red. He gives me a smile that's too wide to be reassuring. Don't worry, Leander's more likely to slip poison into my drink than yours. Excuse me? He considers his cup a tumbler of amber-coloured whiskey. Leander's tried to kill me a dozen times by now. It's always a gamble. Veer looks my way with a half-lidded gaze softened by his first glass of champagne. If I were you, I wouldn't let Leander put anything in my mouth. He grins, revealing the sharp, white tips of his fangs. The Wet Wick is one of Iridina's finest drinking establishments. Allow us to treat you to the best this city has to offer. May I interest you in the signature watered-down drink, or perhaps some stale nut leather? He gestures at a chipped ceramic bowl filled with spindly, speckled jerky that I can only assume is nut leather. What is it with the food in this city? If this place is as foul as you say, how come it's completely packed? It's not all bad. Depending on the day, the food's edible. Ice takes a measured sip of his drink. Gotta stick around for the real attractions, though. Computer, shut up. Before I can respond, Leander returns with a tumbler and sets it in front of me. A strip of orange peel bobs in a pool of thin red alcohol. I sniff the drink. To my relief, all I can smell is the sweet scent of pomegranates with an undercurrent of fermented fruit. Relax, it's just a local specialty, pomegranate wine. Although if you're feeling more adventurous... I shake my head. Leander wraps his knuckles against the bar until the group falls silent. Alright everyone, let's toast. May Mimby's stay in Iridina be full of bright adventures and discoveries. Cheers! Oh, bless. Leander, Ice, and Veer raise their glasses in unison. Mimberly chooses to cross their arms, and Curious watches with polite indifference. I tip my drink back. The wine is eye-wateringly strong. Despite a sharp, bitter edge, it goes down smoothly. One sip softens the edges of my vision. The next fades to the din of the crowded bar into a low, persistent murmur. I find myself unwinding for what feels like the first time in years. Aren't you the popular one, Mimby? You must have met Curious first. It would be more accurate to say that I found her. He saved my life. I merely performed my duty as a doctor. Although I'll admit I was confused when I woke up naked. Oh yeah, we did, didn't we? Leander makes a choked noise. Somewhere behind him, Mim sighs. It's not what you think. Maybe it was in grave condition. I could hardly treat such injuries through tattered clothes. The silence that follows stretches uncomfortably long. I look away, unable to face Curious's disappointment, and catch Veer sniggering behind his hand. That's my cue to change the topic. Curious isn't the only one who saved me today. Don't you listen? I didn't save you. You were simply there. That's men for you. Leander reaches for men, but they duck under his arm with practice ease. As reliable as they are moody. You're one to talk considering you neglected to warn her to stay off the streets at night. What? Of course I warned her. I think. God damn it. Min's only response is a short breath. At any rate, I never got a chance to thank you, Mem. Don't. The less soulless alive, the better. Oh, hey, buddy. Cat just popped his head round. Mem's eyes flick towards Ice. Their lips twist. Ice is too busy nodding along Veer's enthusiastic Otome of stabbing to notice. I've had enough of this hellhole. Let's go. Mem and Cura share a brief look, and then the doctor speaks up. Very well, but there is something I must discuss with Leander, if you'll excuse us, Mimby. And just like that, the three of them depart, leaving me alone to savour my drink in silence. Or so I think, until I hear a voice so soft and low it's practically a purr. Is it Veer? Yes. Lost your tour guide? I mean, I'm alone with my boys. I'm fine. I turn to find two pairs of slit eyes trained on me. It's not lost on me that Ice and Veer chose to pounce the instant the others left. Of course, I'd be stuck with the two most irritating people I've met all day. That's why I like them. Monsters or not, there's no telling what I'll do if either of them push me again. Don't tell me Leander already snuck off back to get his knob slobbered. He's got business with Curious and Mem. 2-on-1 business, huh? Lucky. I can't tell if it's the champagne or the company, but Veer has gone noticeably more relaxed. He sits with his chin propped on the back of his hand. His tail sways lazily. Why are you so far away? Come, join us. Everyone get out of my way! He pats the empty bar stool beside his eyes, but I hesitate. The smile Veer wears is sweet and distinctly sly, and with drinks in the mix, I dread how he and Ice will mess with me next. We don't bite. What if I want you to? I'm not so sure about that. He already tried to rob me, and you threatened me. Me? Steal? You must be mistaken. You sure it was me? Yes, it was you, and you had the goal to kick me out so you could go drinking. Ice gives another one of his shrugs. Had to give you a reason to come looking. Miss me already? I stare at him, flatly, unimpressed by his deflection. Veer suddenly leans toward me, gossamer sleeves pulling where he rests his elbows on his knees. Ice sets his hands on Veer's waist, narrowly preventing him from tipping off the counter. I'm afraid we got off on the wrong foot. How about we start fresh, Begin with proper introductions and whatnot? I'll start. The name's Veer. I'm a soulless hunter of no small renown. He's a hunter. Interesting. Veer's hand flutters to his chest and he bows his head, flinching when hair falls over his eyes. Ice doesn't say anything, so I suppose it's my turn now. You already know my name? I'm certain you already know my name. Hard not to when Leander shouts it every other second. Veer tips his head back and drains the rest of his champagne. It's a pleasure to formally meet you, Mimberly. He says my name slowly and deliberately, savouring every syllable. A tingle jumps down my spine. I quickly turn my gaze away. Ice smirks at my reaction. Is something funny? Nope. I open my mouth and close it just as quickly. They want me to react, goading me into another ridiculous game. While their sharp, cat-like eyes keep me on edge, something about this tension is fun. It must be the wine. Yeah, we'll blame it on the wine. A flash of white over Ice's shoulder catches my eye. Across the bar, Curious heads for the door. I don't see Leander or Mem, but it feels wrong to let the doctor leave without saying goodbye. I'll be back. Veer grins and waves at me as I leave. I slip through the crowd, careful not to touch anyone, but just as I'm nearing Curious, I stagger, shoulder checked by a man with a neck twice as wide as his head. He stares down, nostrils flaring. Out of my way, shit stain. My words spill out on their own. Watch it! I regret them as soon as they leave my mouth. That fucking wine! Okay, next time we play this, we are not drinking wine. The lowlife wheels around, shoving an adder out of the way so he can close in on me. What did you say? He shoves me backward, sending me tumbling to the sticky floor. I'm fine, but my heart leaps into my throat when I see him bearing down on me. You trying to start something here? The lowlife freezes, his fist cocked back. A group of adders circle him, sizing him up. For what feels like an agonizingly long time, the lowlife looks from me to the adders. Finally, he sniffs and spits on the floor next to me. The wad narrowly misses my cheek. Screw it, too many freaks in this circus tonight. He turns his back on me and comes face to face with Ice. Now he's getting protective over me. Oh god. He gives the lowlife a dangerous smile. You'll do. What happens next is a blur. Ice's fist crashes into the man's jaw, causing a frenzy of gasps, shouts, and even cheers. I scramble to my feet as the frantic crowd swarms around me. Through the ruckus, I hear Leander shouting, "Take it outside, Ice! Everyone, drinks are on me!" Of course, the drinks are always on him. With that, the wig erupts into hoots and cheers. The ring around me disperses as adders and onlookers rush toward the bar. Through the thinning crowd, I catch glimpses of familiar faces. Ice vanishes out back, dragging the lowlife behind him. Curious lingers near the door, searching, I suspect, for any wounded before he departs. Min draws their hood up tight as they duck out of a side door, while Veer leans over the counter to swipe a glass of wine from behind the bar. And Leander, seated at the opposite end of the bar, gestures dramatically and apologetically at the bartender. In a heartbeat, I realise that there's no telling when or if I'll see any of them ever again. Whoever I pursue may be the last person I get to speak tonight. I follow... Oh, fuck. Okay. Why would you give me this many options? Okay, right, let me think. So, okay, realistically, my top three is Leander, Veer, and Ice. I like Curus, but he's not grabbing my attention as much at the moment. So realistically, I think that depending on how this ends, like I don't know how much of the demo there is, but realistically, if this is like the last choice I'm going to make before the end of like the first demo playthrough, this will be a good chance for me to go back and play the other endings, or at least quote unquote endings. So I'm going to go with Veer first because he's the one who's currently taking my interest the most, and then we'll work through the other characters that way. So we'll go with Veer. Because, you know, I like me a little bit of foxes. Because, like, fun fact, I call Cade Foxy because he calls me Vixie. It's actually engraved on my wedding ring. So, fun fact of the day. That's probably why he's actually appealing to me much more than the others at the moment, because he reminds me a lot of Cade in a way. Out of all the people I've met, only one left me with more questions than answers. Veer knows more than he's letting on. I'm certain of it. Still, lingering doubt looms heavy over my decision. Can I really trust someone who lies so readily? No. Returning to the bar is slow work with the heavy crowd vying for drinks. When I find Veer, he's leaning against the counter, elbows propped on the edge, and a wine glass raised to his lips. I catch myself staring, and judging by the looks of it I see thrown his way, I'm not the only one. Yet there's a clear ring around Veer no one else seems bold enough to cross. I didn't think you planned on sticking around. One ear perks up at the sound of my approach. A free drink is a free drink, even if it tastes like stale rat piss. Didn't you say you wouldn't be caught dead slumming in this shithole? Veer takes a delicate sip from his glass, but his tail thrashes below the bar. You've caught me red-handed. He peers at me over the rim of his glass. In the low light, his eyes glitter jewel bright with amusement. However will you punish me? I can think of a few ways. I figured my company's punishment was enough for you. Veer's lips twitch, and he smiles, despite himself. I saw your little run-in with that gibbering imbecile. Quite the show. A muscle in my jaw flexes. Did you enjoy watching? I much prefer to be an active participant, but Ice intervened before I could. I can't tell if he's disappointed because he didn't get to save me, or simply because he missed out on a fight. Next time I get jumped, I'll make sure it happens near you. Veer laughs softly under his breath. He rests his glass on the counter with a sharp clink. I did warn you, didn't I? He moves closer and I tense, my heart leaping in anticipation. But he only runs his hand up my arm to dust off debris, no doubt picked up from the floor, with a touch far gentler than I expected. About finding trouble, he murmurs under his breath while his fingers rub small circles into my shoulder. I whisper for fear of what my voice might do if I speak up. I can take care of myself. It comes out sharper than I intended. Veer lets me go with a sigh. So, did you come here for praise, or will a head pat suffice? What about real explanations instead of vague ramblings about moths and fire? Veer scoffs. You could buy me a drink before insulting me. After the way you pounced on me, if anyone's owed a drink, it's me. Veer falls so uncharacteristically quiet that for a moment I fear I've actually crossed the line. Then he props his chin on his wrist. I don't think you understand how things work around here. Information is a luxury, one you flung carelessly aside. If you valued my words, you would have taken me seriously. Valued? I barely understood what you meant. I'm not a smart girly. I gave you free advice, warned you of the danger you were in, and you still went prancing off to the sea spring. Small wonder the soulless didn't tear you to ribbons. My first impulse is to argue, but what he said doesn't sit well with me. How does he know what happened to me? How did you know where I went? That's a good question. I think he followed us. How do you know I left Eridina? I'm certain I wasn't being followed when I left. I have a very sensitive nose, remember? Right. How could I forget? Do you normally greet people by shoving your nose into their laps like an over-eager dog? Oh, fuck! For a heartbeat, Veer's eyes grow wide and flat. Then he laughs under his breath. Only the ones I like. He likes me, guys, he likes me! Veer trades his empty wine glass for the long-abandoned tumbler sweating on the counter beside him. Soft lumps of ice bob in the watery dregs of whiskey. The truth is, I despise most people. His eyes flicker over my shoulder and fin when Leander prosperous laughter erupts from the other side of the bar. What about me? He looks over me with an antagonizingly slow gaze. Finally, his lips quirk. You've piqued my curiosity. Oh, it's a start, or so I think, until his eyes slide away and he turns back toward the bar. I've got no idea how I'm supposed to hold a conversation, much less get answers. I knew Veer wouldn't make this easy for me, not when he clearly enjoys playing games. Are you going to tell me anything, or are you having too much fun? He lets out a short breath. This isn't a game to me. A lie. I'm close enough to catch the subtle bristling of his tail. If anyone's fooling around, it's you. People like us can't help but attract danger, yet you seek it out, and for what? Cheap thrills? I wasn't trying to get eaten by Solus. There is something I'm looking for. And you think Mem can help you? Leander? Are you really willing to risk your life with those idiots? What life? You've got no idea what I've gone through, or... Forget it. I start to rise, but something flicks against my ankle. Veer's tail. It's a little more than a brush, but enough to give me pause. His eyes, softer than before, search mine. They couldn't even begin to understand you, but I could. How do I know I can trust you? You don't, but I'm slightly less inclined to waste your time with empty flattery or insults than those two. Is what you desire really worth risking your life for? If you knew the kind of life I've lived, you wouldn't be asking. Veer considers the condensation on his glass for a condensation, I couldn't think of the fucking word, on his glass for a long moment before speaking again. Will you trust me? Yes. God damn. I nod and he rewards me with a small smile. Good. Veer raises the tumbler to me and then knocks the dregs back. Once finished, he wipes his mouth on the back of his hand. Let's talk. Outside. We could both use the fresh air. With that, he slips away from the bar, leaving me to follow his long, trilling tail through the crowd. It's so cold the breeze cuts clean through my bandages, numbing my fingertips. But if the chill bothers Veer, he doesn't show it. He lopes purposely down the street into an alley, this far from the wick, the bar's racket a little more than an indistinct hum. The street is silent in the dead of night. Did Veer want privacy or no witnesses? You had questions? Ask. Veer's breath mists. In the cold moonlight, his shadow stretches unnaturally long over the cobblestone street. Quickly, I've got a show to attend. Heavenly lusts, as I'm sure I've mentioned. He looks down his nose at me, effortlessly imperious. For a heartbeat, I'm reminded that the stark want that gleamed in his eyes when he touched me. If you weren't so pretty, I'd walk away. But I need answers, and I can't think of a better way of starting with the people I had met earlier. If Veer doesn't prove trustworthy, maybe one of them will. First, I ask about... Ice. I'd like to know more about Ice. You two seem close. He made an impression, Not surprising. He's strong, ruthless, easy on the eyes. Gives it almost as well as he takes it, even if he's awfully greedy. Oh god. I just read the line, I'm like, oh my god, do I have to read this? big. Everywhere, really. Bit simple, but you know what they say about still waters. I don't, but I'm too distracted by the change that's overcome Vera to ask. A coy smile plays at his lips, and he winds a finger around the chain dangling from his collar. I thought you didn't like most people. Eyes isn't most people. He's better. Our eyes meet, and Vera's tender expression curdles. He makes a tiny sound of distaste in the back of his throat. He's more trouble than he's worth. Dangerous too. Stay far away from him and those red-eyed freaks if you value your safety or your sanity. Is that why you scolded me for going to the sea spring? I don't really think Eyes is as bad as you're saying. You don't know him. Not like I do. The corner of his lip twitches. Okay. Mim. I've got to admit, I was surprised to see that you and Mem know each other. Are you friends? Oh yes, we laugh and go shopping and have sleepovers where we braid each other's hair and kiss with a little tongue. He's so cocky. I'm beginning to wonder if Vera's ever had friends. Let me guess. You don't like them. Can't stand them. First time we met, they stabbed me. Slid cold, hard steel between my ribs. Nearly nicked my heart. It was exquisite. The knife, I mean. Some sort of antique. Mim's done nothing but disappoint me ever since. So you're not close. Can you imagine me being friends with that crabby little killjoy? Impossible. Not unless they learn to lighten up. And I'm afraid not even a surgeon as practiced as Curus can remove the stick firmly wedged up Mim's pert ass. Leander? What do you think about Leander? I don't. An unusually curt answer for Vera. I don't buy it. So you're not very fond of him? I wouldn't spit on Leander if he were on fire. Vera shudders. Oh no, he'd enjoy that far too much. To call Leander trash would be an insult to manure. He's a pathetic, slimy little man-child in big, shiny shoes. I've seen mutts rotting in gutters with more dignity. Goddamn. I don't even know how to respond to that. Before I can ask my next question, Vera gives a frustrated growl. I haven't got all night for idle gossip. Isn't there someone more interesting we can talk about? Who, you? No, I'm far more interested in learning about you. That catches me off guard. What about me? Nothing worth having comes easy or cheap in this world. You're clearly set on this thing you've spoken of, your very reason for being. Yet, have you considered what might happen should your struggles prove futile, if what you desire is beyond your grasp? Then it's over for me. This has to work or it's over for me. You would give up then? Just like that? Well, like I said, I can't keep living like this. To cling so tenaciously to a slim hope. How fascinating. Now, where were we? Oh yes, you had 2 questions left. 2? But you haven't explained anything! Then I suggest you make your last questions count. So much for being helpful, but I suppose that's just how information works in this exhausting city. Leander told me about that the Cenobium imprisons people. Did he mean you? Leander's a moaning fool with a throbbing victim complex. He loves to see himself as a savior, but the only difference between his cronies and the Cenobium scourges are the uniforms. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what surprises me more, the bluntness with which he speaks, or the venom lacing his ordinarily silken voice. You're asking who, when you should be asking why. Says the asshole counting my questions. The look he throws me is infuriatingly self-satisfied. Fine, why were you imprisoned? For the same reason the Cenobium would snatch you away. I'm something special. Veer bows his head, gathering his hair in his hand and lifting it from his shoulders to bare his neck to me. See this collar? He cranes his neck, inviting me to lean closer. It looks unremarkable, doesn't it? I'd assumed that Veer's collar was a personal touch. On a closer glance, the thick, subtle lever is molded to fit his neck snugly, but the large silver buckle seems easy enough to pry open. I lean forward to touch the buckle. Veer's hand lashes out. Oh, long, slender fingers wrap around my wrist and flex, skirting just enough pressure to hint at how easily he could snap my bones. Don't you know better than to touch without asking? Can I, please? Our eyes meet. His fin with amusement. No, you may look, but don't touch. He lets go of my arm. I smooth down my bandages. I can't lose my composure again. By now, I'd fully expected Veer to walk away, but the fact he's still here suggests he's either forgot about his warning, or that he was never counting my questions to begin with. Are you saying that's what will happen if the Cenobium finds out I'm different? I'll be collared? Doubtful. They keep me around because I'm the best at what I do. And what exactly are you best at? Killing. He says it carelessly, without hesitation. As long as I wear this collar, I'm made to hunt the Cenobium's dizzying array of enemies. Monsters, soulless, noisy dissidents who grow overbold. I'm bound by their will until the day I die. Well, that's awful. Veer murmurs in agreement. It is, isn't it? And that's all I have time for. I really must leave now. I'll be late. Well, that's it. Why'd you bring me here if you weren't going to explain anything? He has the nerve to laugh. Isn't that obvious? I wanted to lure you out here alone so I could eat you. You're lying again. And you're asking far too many questions for someone with so much to hide. He glances pointingly at my hands and I shove them deep into my cloak. What makes you think I'm hiding anything? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's the tough act or the way you tense up at the slightest provocation. More likely it's the bandages. Not exactly subtle. I'll be going. Unless you're willing to share some morsels with me. There's a biting edge to his playful tone. I can't tell you anything. Wrong, you can start with what you are. I take a step backward, but... Oh. My back hits a wall as Veer follows me in lockstep. Oh god, is he pinning me to a wall? Oh god. My hand hits a wall as Veer follows me in lockstep. He rests his left hand on the wall beside my head, caging me in. Veer reaches for me. His fingers curl under my chin and lift, forcing me to meet his lidded gaze. Would you believe me if I said that the eyes are the windows to the soul? I have heard that on multiple occasions. My eyelids twitch. Cliché, I know, but let me tell you a little secret. Veer leans in until his lashes tickle my cheek, and the warm, faintly spiced scent of his hair drowns out the stench of greasy cooking fires and chimney smoke. His eyes pin me down. There's nothing you can hide from me. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god! His voice is so low, so subtle I could slip into it. The loss of protection, the loss of hope, the sheer desperation that drives you to search and search to no end. I could give you something new to live for. My heart hammers. My lungs burn as though each breath is being stolen away. How could he possibly know? This must be some kind of trick. But for once, Veer isn't smiling. All that suffering has made your soul so irresistible. The look on his face makes my blood run cold. I've seen it before. Travelling through the waters, lanterns would occasionally reveal carcasses picked clean by starving scavengers, whose eyes shone in the dark with that same ravenous hunger. Veer takes a shuddering breath. You're trembling. What if you and I went somewhere quieter? Alone. I don't want to resist him, but I know I have to. Part of me wants nothing more than to let him take me. To surrender completely to him. It would be so easy. But I'm not about to give up now. You're late. The Ludus. Veer blinks. His voice comes out soft and breathy. Shame. He eases back, and for what feels like the first time since he's cornered me, I breathe, but my relief is short-lived. Nimble fingers trail down my jaw before tilting my chin up. His touch is feather-like and teasing, but my pulse still leaps. One last thing, Mimby. Spoken so softly that the pounding of my heart nearly drowns out his words. Call me a dog again, and I'll break you. Understood? What kind of breaking are we talking? His lips curve, but there's no humor in his voice. Yes? Good. As soon as Veer releases me, I sink against the alley wall to catch my breath. He looks down on me. Let's get one thing straight. I ate a monster 3 times your size for breakfast. 2, actually. The first tasted dreadful, like a fisherman's antique ashtray, But that's besides the point. You and I may be alike, but don't forget what I am or what I do best. He smiles wide enough to flash his sharp white fangs, as much as a warning as a smirk. Oh, I think I missed something there. Oh, no, never mind. I did not miss anything. The crash of shattering glass cuts through the air. I whip around to see a drunk stumble past the alley, leaving a trail of beer and broken glass in his wake. I glance back at Beer. He's gone. But he's gone, vanished into the dark. I'm left in the deserted alley, trembling with a delirious mixture of exhaustion and excitement. Fuck. Only once my racing heartbeat slows do I make my way back toward the wick, guided by the distant sounds of reverie. Choose your fate. Oh! Obviously it's gonna be Veer. Okay, Veer, right. Veer, the chained cartellum. Veer serves as a warning of the dangers posed by the Cenobium. As cunning as he is curious, Veer finds you fascinating and insists that he can help. But trusting him means entrusting your life to a collared beast with a lethal reputation. Can Veer protect you, or are his honeyed words a trap waiting to shut? I'm going to read all of these. These are actually really interesting. Leander. Leander offers you something that should be impossible. A taste of normalcy free of your curse. As the first person to withstand your touch, he could change your life, but there are some things simply too good to be true. Leander promises to help unravel your curse, but at what cost? His hand in marriage, hopefully. Ice, the demon renegade. An intimidating yet laid-back outsider, Ice presides over a sea spring with unnerving powers. He offers you a miracle, but the price means submitting yourself to the horrifying presence at the heart of the spring. Will you gaze into the abyss for answers, even at the risk of losing yourself? Curus, the repentant angel. From all appearances, Curus is can't English. He's a principal doctor of extraordinary skill, but you know little about the man underneath the professional mask, and Curus keeps even his friends at a cool distance. Well, if you uncover his deepest secrets, will you like what you find? And then you got Men, the cursed outsider. Despite their cold nature and familiarity with violence, Mem is just as desperate as you to get into Cenobium. You may be able to help each other, but they're keeping as many secrets as you. They claim they're dangerous, but could they be your only chance of getting into the Cenobium? Choose your fate, so we're going to go for Veer. Thank you for playing. For more Touchstarved. Oh, okay, right, let's talk about that one then, because good lord, we have got some talking to do. So, that was Touchstarved. Obviously, I'm going to go back and play the other ending, so don't panic. I got those on the way. But that was so good. Like, I'm going to be completely upfront. When I'm playing these games, I'm, you know, especially because I get a lot of, like, smaller developers reaching out to me. And I also get a lot of recommendations from you guys, which I will always welcome, you know, potential new inquiries. But one thing I will say is that the thing I like about Touchstarved, and in particular, is not just the style of the artwork, but I also really like the characters. I like that they have a balance for basically everything. Obviously, Vera and Eyes have taken my attention the most, but Leander is definitely up there. Curious and Men, no, not so much, but that might change when I go back and play the other endings. So keep an eye out for that. They'll be coming soon. And just again, a thank you to Chris for recommending this demo to me. It's free to play on Steam, so if you guys want to play this yourself, please go and support the creators. And yeah, fingers crossed we can do more Touchstarved and we'll see more updates from them soon. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye.